Regina.
Hi.
Tell me a story.
When I was a young girl, I lived in Swansboro, North Carolina, on the Inland Waterway, and that was in front of my house, and behind my house was the Sound. And every day after school, I would go out to the Sound with my bucket and my dip net, a long-handled net with a net on the end, and I would walk along the shore and pick up all the crabs and put them in my bucket. And if anybody wanted crabs for dinner, I would bring them home, and we deep fried them in those days. And then if nobody wanted them, then I would just let them go. Put them back in the water, and then I'd go back the next day. And I did it so often that I got to where I knew where they all lived. So I could just go and say, oh, this one's here today, and I'd catch him.
Would you catch the same one over and over again?
Sometimes, yes.
You could tell?
Every now and then, well, they were in the same place, yes.
Okay.
And every now and then there would be a stranger in the water, and you'd see him, and he was just a little bit too deep, but you'd go running out as far as you dare with throwing the net in front of you trying to catch him, and sometimes you'd catch him. Blue crab, I'm talking about blue crabs.
And what waters, what beach is this?
It's the Sound in North Carolina, at the end of the Outer Banks. The Sound is a body of water between the Outer Banks and the main part of North Carolina,
okay.
Main coast.
How old were you?
I did this from the time I was about 10 until I was about 12, and then we moved, and occasionally I would get a bus in the weekends and take the bus back to where I used to go crabbing and take up my old habits and go out and go crabbing again. It used to be my favorite pastime every day.
Oh.
And that's it.
Yeah, well now, I need another story. That was
Sometimes we would crab, if we really were serious about having crabs for dinner, you'd get a string and a piece of a chicken neck or something like that, and you'd go out on one of the piers and just put a rock on the bottom to hold it down, tie it to a string. Nothing fancy here. Drop it into the water and wait till you felt something nibbling on it, and then you would pull it. Once they get a hold of it, a crab won't let go, and you pull it up to the top of the water and take your net and put it underneath, and you'd have a bucket full of crabs.
How big, show me with your hands how big these crabs were.
About like that.
Now that was with the legs, the body and the legs together?
Yeah,
wow.
like folded up.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty good size.
Yes, they're about that long.
Are they still harvesting those?
I'm sure they are, yes, yes.
Can you get that kind of crab here, California?
No, they don't grow here.
I mean,
they don't live here.
But I mean,
oh, you can have them shipped here.
Frozen,
I've done that since I've lived here. You don't eat frozen. You don't. No, not frozen.
Oh, you have them shipped live?
Yes, crab has to be live. Once they die, they are gone fast. As a matter of fact, when you go crabbing,
it's like a lobster. You put it in the water, the boiling water or whatever, when it's alive.
No, we used to clean them and fry them.
While they're alive?
While they're alive, you clean them. Oh, that used to be one of the hard parts of what I did. Because I got to know these crabs so well and get on with them. Somebody decided they wanted to eat them, and you got to take a knife and stab it in the back and hold them by their legs and pull their back off, and they're holding on to you. A couple of times that bothered me when I was doing it. But not most of the time.
Oh, man. Did you sell them? Did you say?
Nope, didn't sell them. I just gave them to anybody that wanted crabs to eat for dinner. Lots of... There are a lot of crabs there.
Yeah.
And in the edge of the water, you can find baby crabs no bigger than your little fingernail. Little teeny tiny baby crabs.
Well, what would you just...
No, just for fun.
Yeah.
You'd go and find those. And
did a lot of the kids do that with you, or?
Nope. I did it by myself.
Yeah.
Nobody went crabbing with me. Unless I was crabbing off a pier. Then it was usually a family trying to get crab for dinner. But that was my pastime in the afternoon, was to go and catch all the crabs.
So now you told me the other day you really like to go to school. Tell me a school story you liked about school.
High school?
I guess any age.
High school, yes, I like high school. I like to go. I lived 2 blocks from the school. I've told you that. I lived 2 blocks from the school. We could hear the bell ring, and then we'd run and get to school in time, not be late, or maybe a little bit late. And we used to every afternoon. A lot of afternoons when I was a teenager, we'd all climb in the car and go to the beach and spend the afternoon at the beach. And in the evenings, we'd all climb in the car and go driving around, quite often to the beach.
You mean a bunch of high school kids?
Yeah,
you mean?
a bunch of high school kids.
Yeah.
And we had a Nash Rambler. Mother had a Nash Rambler in those days, and I was always a driver.
Uh-huh.
And in the Nash Ramblers, in those days, the seat laid all the way back. The front seats laid all the way back.
Really?
So we used to put both seats down, and everybody would sit in a semicircle. Someone would sit behind me, so I'd have somebody.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding!
Driving.
The driver's seat would
drive around like that at night. We had quite a time.
I guess.
Yes, it was fun.
Are you
enjoyed my?
Are you still in touch with anybody from school?
No.
Any of those relative friends?
No, I have when I've been home a couple times looked them up.
Mm-hmm.
But I found that actually the last time I went home, I got a hold of a girlfriend that was one of my best girlfriends in high school. They came to visit me at Esther's house.
Wow.
And then I never heard from her again. I've tried to contact her.
Oh, really? You had a good visit, though, and everything?
Yeah, she and her husband came and sat, and we talked a long time, and then they disappeared. And I've tried to call her and connect with her.
I'll
haven't been able to.
Give me your name. I'll try and research her. It's one of my pastimes, looking things up.
Yes.
Wow,
yes,
that's great.
I had a good high school years. Good high school years.
So who's that little doggy you're petting?
This is Sunshine. She's the baby of the house.
Yeah, she's happy on Mommy's lap.
Yes.
Yes.
And there's her papa right down here.
Here's Papa.
This is her papa.
Looks very similar.
Yes.
Mother-daughter team. I mean, father-daughter team.
Father-daughter.
Yeah. Okay, Rogena.
Are we off?
Not yet. I'll have to say goodbye. Have a great night. Thanks for sharing.
Oh, yes, yes. Anytime.